The life of Frieza, Dragon Ball. Frieza is an emperor from Universe 7 who controlled his own imperial army and is feared for his ruthlessness and power. He's the descendant of Chilled, the second son of King Cold, the younger brother of Cooler, and the father of Kuriza. Frieza is the catalyst antagonist of the entire franchise, as it's his actions that led to Goku arriving on Earth. He's made several comebacks since his fight with Goku on Namek, including multiple invasions of Earth. Recently, he's been chosen to represent Universe 7 as the 10th member of Team Universe 7 for the Tournament of Power as a replacement for Good Buu. This makes him the most recurring villain of the Dragon Ball series. After the events of the Tournament of Power, he's revived and recovers his title as Emperor of Universe 7. Frieza is the Emperor of Universe 7. Frieza is the main antagonist of the Namek, Frieza, Trunks, Gods of the Universe, and Golden Frieza Sagas. He's also the main antagonist of the Dragon Ball Z Bardock, the Father of Goku special, and Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F film. He later serves as a villainous protagonist in the Universe Survival Saga, and secondary antagonist in the Dragon Ball Super Broly film. Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over the life of Frieza. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The Amagi's reach stretches beyond just this channel, so if you're a fan of us, please consider subscribing to our other channels and following us on all of our social media. Help us reach our goal of passing 100k followers on all of our accounts by the end of the year. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Background: Frieza's father is a mutant with an abnormally high power level. Because of this, Frieza also possesses the mutant traits, making him and his father King Cold the only ones among the Frieza race who possess the striking level of power and cruelty shown in the series. Even among his family and the rest of his race, Frieza was a prodigy, whose natural growth in power required him to never undergo any real training and still ultimately become recognized as the most powerful warrior in the universe. It's said that the moment Frieza was born, he was more powerful and cruel than his father. And Frieza's overwhelming power and genius for evil led to Cold wanting to hand control over the universe to Frieza immediately. Thanks to his son's potential, Cold handed control over to him while he was still a child. He was introduced to the Saiyans, who were informed by Cold that Frieza was their new master. At one point, King Cold told Frieza that there were only two entities in the universe whom Frieza should never cross: Majin Buu and Beerus the Destroyer. Frieza annexed the Saiyans into his Frieza Force, and heard of the legends of the Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God. At some point in Frieza's past, he conquered at least 448 planets, taking control of 70% of Universe 7. Frieza eventually met Beerus himself. The two got along fairly well, as they both enjoyed destroying things. However, one time Frieza got carried away and caused Beerus to get angry, which caused Beerus to fight Frieza and easily defeat the tyrant. Unbeknownst to Frieza, his arrogant attitude annoyed Beerus. He thought about destroying Frieza once he saved Beerus the trouble of destroying planet Vegeta himself, though never went through with it. At some point, Frieza encountered the Galactic Patrol, and when they engaged him in combat, he easily defeated them. Thus, the Patrol decided that they should avoid Frieza at all costs. Frieza had fought his parents in the past, and it had not been since these fights that he had ever had to dust himself off after a fight. Frieza had many races under his thumb in his planetary trade, including the Saiyans. Gifted with natural fighting ability, strength, and the ability to become stronger after every battle, Saiyans became powerful weapons in Frieza's subjugation of planets. However, Frieza noted that they were never entirely loyal to him due to their pride. However, these variabilities made them a liability to the paranoid Frieza, afraid that, if left unchecked, the Saiyans could either unite and overwhelm him, or one day provide a warrior to rival Frieza himself, such as a Super Saiyan or a Super Saiyan God. Due to this, and also due to a past meeting with the God of Destruction Beerus, who asked him to wipe out the Saiyans for him, he decided to wipe out the planet and its inhabitants despite his attendants saying that it would be a shame to waste such mighty warriors. He also ended up forcing King Vegeta into giving him his son Vegeta as part of their continued cooperation. However, King Vegeta secretly intended to betray Frieza before he could ever let him have his son. He also further taunted King Vegeta by implying that he didn't actually care if the latter was delayed in capturing Tazba, before referring to the executed messenger as a silly dope, Jaco the Galactic Patrolman. Frieza calls for the Saiyans to return to planet Vegeta. On his ship, he's told of the Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God legends by Kikuno, who doesn't think the legends could be true. Frieza, however, doesn't think they should be overlooked, so he plans to destroy planet Vegeta in 1 month's time, since most of the Saiyans will not arrive until then. He then tells his subordinate to tell the remaining Saiyans that the planet has been destroyed by a meteor, so the Saiyans won't suspect him. Between Jaco and Dragon Ball Z. In the manga, Frieza killed King Vegeta without having to transform into his second form. Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta after a month had passed as he had planned. Bardock briefly attempted to resist Frieza as he was about to destroy planet Vegeta, however Frieza wiped him, the planet, and the rest of the Saiyans out with a supernova. In the anime, on Frieza's arrival to planet Vegeta's orbit, King Vegeta and his men attempted an uprising both to end Frieza's reign and to rescue Prince Vegeta, but it ended disastrously with the king and his soldiers being slaughtered by Frieza with only a single effortless punch as Zarbon and Dodoria watch. Frieza suspected that other Saiyans would attempt to emulate King Vegeta's approach and commit a full-scale uprising, a suspicion confirmed when he was confronted by a charging Bardock, lunging through the fields of Frieza's men in defiance of the tyrant, and even goes as far as to fire a final spirit cannon at him after giving a heartfelt speech declaring that the Saiyan race is done working for Frieza. The tyrant retaliated by laughing maniacally with delight as he prepared a supernova to annihilate the planet. The attack consumes Bardock and some of his men as it buries itself deep beneath the planet's surface, resulting in a massive explosion, eradicating nearly every Saiyan. After the planet's explosion, a story was fabricated to ensure the loyalty of the few remaining Saiyans Frieza had kept in his employ as a convenience: Vegeta, Raditz, and Nappa. According to the story, a large meteor struck planet Vegeta and destroyed it that very day. At one point, Frieza destroyed an entire planet and the rebellious race who lived on it with a single gigantic energy ball that he fired from his index finger. At one point, prior to the battle on Namek, Frieza witnessed a conflict between Vegeta and the Ginyu Force member Goldo unfolding and blasted Goldo away with a weak energy wave as he wished to speak with Vegeta. Frieza then ordered Vegeta to come with him to conquer a planet that Frieza had taken a liking to. Frieza Saga. 25 years after Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta, Frieza spies on Vegeta's scouter during the Vegeta Saga and in doing so, learns of the existence of the Dragon Balls on Namek. Planning to obtain them and make a wish for immortality, Frieza arrives on Namek with his longtime comrades and top two highest ranking henchmen, Zarbon and Dodoria, in order to try and obtain the Dragon Balls from the Namekians. After Kyui and Dodoria fall to Vegeta, who had betrayed Frieza to collect the fabled items for his own ends, Frieza sends Zarbon and Apul to find the last two Dragon Balls while he returns with the other 5 to the ship. Frieza thinks that Vegeta most likely found a Dragon Ball and is sure to come after the Dragon Balls in his possession. Frieza believes that when Vegeta does come, they'll just take the 2 he has and have all 7. Frieza lifts the 5 Dragon Balls off the ground telekinetically and zooms off with them on his pod. Later, Zarbon returns to the ship to tell Frieza about his findings. Frieza asks Zarbon if he's found a village, but Zarbon says no, though he has defeated Vegeta. Frieza is relieved and asks if Vegeta is dead, but Zarbon says he didn't confirm the corpse, but the odds are slim considering the severity of his injuries. Frieza asks why he didn't confirm Vegeta's death, and Zarbon explains that he was underwater. Frieza figures that Zarbon neglected to confirm it because he didn't want to get his hair wet and that Vegeta could have found a Dragon Ball and hidden it. Zarbon says it was inexcusable and he'll confirm it immediately. In the anime, Orlin arrives at the ship and says he's found a village, but it's already been destroyed and its Dragon Ball taken. In the manga, it was Apul who revealed this. Zarbon figures it must have been Vegeta, and he did hide a Dragon Ball. Orlin lets it slip that he killed the survivor without first asking where Vegeta may have hidden the Dragon Ball, angering Frieza, who then kills Orlin without a second thought, zapping him with eye lasers as Zarbon watched in fear. Frieza tells Zarbon to bring Vegeta back to the ship, and he'd better hope he's still alive or he'll follow Orlin's example. He orders Apul to contact planet Frieza and have the Ginyu Force come here in 5 days with replacement scouters. Zarbon freaks out and asks why he wants the Ginyu Force's help, and Frieza says he has a strange premonition. A strange feeling that a strong Saiyan exists somewhere in the universe and is destined to become his enemy. Frieza is unsure whether or not it's Vegeta. Zarbon says if it's not Vegeta, then it must be the Saiyan from Earth or his half-breed son, though they're considerably weaker than Vegeta. Frieza asks Zarbon if he doubts his premonition, who hastily says no, and tells him to hurry and bring Vegeta before he loses his patience, and Zarbon quickly flies off. Frieza thinks to himself about the Saiyans having endless fighting potential, though they're of course no match for him. But in the future, if they continue to sprout up, they could be really troublesome if one became a Super Saiyan. Zarbon returns to the battle area, locates Vegeta's battered body, and takes him to the treatment room in Frieza's ship for Apul to heal him in the rejuvenation chamber. Zarbon reports to Frieza that he captured Vegeta and that he's being healed for further interrogation. Upon healing, Vegeta blasts out of the tank, because obviously that was the smartest move to heal him, and the explosion kills Apul. Zarbon and Frieza, having heard the noise, run to the treatment room. However, Vegeta blasts a hole in the ship's wall as a distraction and hides, concluding that he's fled, Frieza sends Zarbon outside of the ship to find him. With his captors distracted, Vegeta excitedly races to Frieza's room, where his 5 Dragon Balls lie unguarded. Zarbon searches the area near Frieza's spaceship for Vegeta, but Frieza is impatient. I'm surprised he didn't kill him already. He selfishly blames Zarbon for Vegeta's escape and threatens to kill him if he can't locate the Saiyan. Realizing that he can't carry all 5 Dragon Balls, Vegeta alerts Zarbon and Frieza to his location, then unleashes a blast in the hallway to obscure their vision. Vegeta then blasts a hole in the window and tosses all 5 balls outside before escaping just in time. Zarbon and Frieza are irate, and Zarbon again begins searching outside the ship to no avail. Zarbon desperately asks Frieza if Vegeta is still on the ship, but Frieza angrily blames Zarbon and says it's his responsibility to find Vegeta. As Vegeta flees unnoticed, swimming in the nearby body of water, a furious Frieza says he'll search the ship's interior and orders Zarbon to search the surrounding area, promising to kill him if he can't capture Vegeta within an hour. Zarbon hurries out in fear and searches for Vegeta to avoid facing severe consequences. With him not returning within the hour, Frieza concludes that Zarbon has either been killed or run away, and laments not calling the Ginyu Force earlier. Large amounts of seismic activity begin as an enraged Frieza begins shooting off beams of intense energy while his henchmen huddle together in fear. A soldier informs Frieza that the Ginyu Force are in preparations to head to Namek, which makes Frieza relieved that he'll finally get some results. Frieza also concludes that Vegeta has not yet gathered all 7 Dragon Balls because he's still alive. With the new scouters, Frieza's forces will be able to find him. After a few days, the Ginyu Force finally land on planet Namek and present themselves to Frieza with a set of absurd poses. Frieza is visibly unsettled by this display, but decides to get down to business quickly. He orders the Ginyu Force to capture Vegeta alive to be interrogated for the Dragon Ball's location. Captain Ginyu uses his scouter and says that Vegeta is traveling with 2 other people. Frieza thinks that they must be Gohan and Krillin and says that the Ginyu Force can do whatever they want. Jace gives Frieza a box full of the new scouters that he had requested. With their new orders set, the Ginyu Force fly off to pursue Vegeta. Ultimately, they fail to do so when Goku arrives on planet Namek and fights them, eventually defeating them. Ginyu did bring Frieza the Dragon Balls while his comrades fought, with Frieza complimenting Ginyu on his job well done and saying how he should have sent them much earlier. Ginyu then attempts to commemorate the event by dancing, but Frieza tells him to do it another time. Frieza then attempts to summon Porunga, but had no success, concluding that they needed some unique password only a Namekian would know. While searching for the secret to unlocking the Dragon Ball's power, Frieza finds out that 3 Namekians are still alive by checking his scouters. Ginyu then offers to go, but Frieza tells him he will go himself, telling Ginyu to stay at his post. Then he speeds towards Nail and the Grand Elder, passing by Dende at the same time, yet ignoring his presence, finally arriving at the Grand Elder's home where he's confronted by Nail, the strongest of the Namekian warriors on the planet. Nail leads Frieza away from the Grand Elder and fights Frieza. As the battle commences, Nail attempts to fight and lunges for his neck, but to no avail, as Frieza grabs onto Nail's arm and violently rips it off his body. As Nail screams in pain, he quickly regenerates his arm, much to the surprise of Frieza. After a long and tortuous battle, Frieza insists that Nail tells him how to summon Porunga, but Nail launches a powerful ki attack to no success. Frieza then lands a blow to Nail's nose, while Frieza still demands Nail he tells him about the password. Nail begins laughing, telling Frieza his big mistake about letting Dende go and leaving the Dragon Balls. Frieza then leaves him to die after discovering the fight was a diversion for Dende to reveal the password to Krillin and Gohan as they take the Dragon Balls. While flying towards his ship, he attempts to find the energy of the Ginyu Force, realizing they're not showing up on the scouter. Enraged, he follows in pursuit of the heroes only to find that Porunga, the Namekian dragon, is gone due to the Grand Elder's death. He confronts Vegeta, Krillin, Gohan, and Dende after the Grand Elder had passed away. He then loses his composure due to the loss of immortality and becomes even more enraged to the fact that he didn't see this coming earlier. He then faces off with a much powerful Vegeta, capable of possibly holding his own for a bit against Frieza's strength. Spurred on by Vegeta, Frieza unveils his second form, to the complete shock of Gohan, Krillin, Vegeta, and Dende, as the power not only increasing frightens them, but his appearance as well. With this newfound power, this allows him to defeat Vegeta. After Frieza uses the Death Storm attack, he takes his time to decide who should die first, and chooses Krillin. He injures Krillin by impaling him through the chest with his left horn and torturing him. He then throws him into the Namekian Sea, taunting Gohan with his friend's limp body. Gohan responds in an incredible fury and proceeds to pound Frieza with punches, kicks, and a barrage of ki blasts. Frieza then proceeds to pummel him as a response, and just before he can finish him off, Krillin, healed by Dende, shoots a Destructo Disc at his tail, chopping the tip of it off. Frieza chases Krillin in a diversion and returns to the others when Frieza decides to finish them off. Fortunately, Piccolo joins the battle and is able to go blow to blow with Frieza thanks to his fusion with Nail. Frieza and Piccolo are at even power, neither one of them being able to gain a significant upper hand. Piccolo then powers up further, but soon confused and shocked when he sees that Frieza is able to surpass his new speed. Eager to demonstrate even more of his power to Piccolo, Frieza once again transforms, unlocking more of his seemingly endless power. Piccolo attempts to hold his own, but to no avail. He now tries to outrun Frieza, but Frieza's speed is simply too much for Piccolo. Frieza then brutally attacks Piccolo with his crazy finger beam. Gohan again gets angry and fires the full power Masenko, which Frieza at first struggles with, but eventually deflects back with ease. Piccolo protects Gohan by firing a blast at it, deflecting it away. Frieza notes Gohan's growing power and realizes that he's a Saiyan, but doubts Vegeta is his father, because obviously he still believes that only Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta escaped Planet Vegeta's destruction, and finally unveils his true form, stressing that he intended to give his foes the pleasure of observing it before they died. In the anime, he promises to show them a terror greater than hell. In his new form, Frieza first kills Dende, who Frieza had found out had been healing the heroes when he saw Dende healing Piccolo just before transforming into his final form. Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan attack Frieza, but Frieza easily dodges their flurry of kicks and punches. After receiving another Saiyan power at his request, Vegeta announces himself as a Super Saiyan and fights Frieza, attempting to hit Frieza with an intense flurry of punches. However, Frieza's speed is still far too much for Vegeta to handle, leaving Vegeta in a quiet state of fear. With all his power, Vegeta fires a final burst cannon at Frieza directly, but the tyrant is still far his superior and easily kicks the beam away. After Vegeta loses his hope, Frieza proceeds to torture and punish him. Frieza wraps his tail around Vegeta's neck, lifts him up, and begins torturing him by repeatedly punching Vegeta's spine while strangling him with his tail. As Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan watch in horror, Frieza sadistically reminds them that they can assist Vegeta if they want to, as part of some sick joke. Just as Frieza is about to slay Vegeta, the healed Goku arrives on the battlefield ready to fight Frieza. The long and devastating fight begins with Goku dodging Frieza's first melee attack and lands a hard kick to Frieza's cheek, sending him flying. Gohan, Krillin, and Piccolo are shocked at Goku's intense power, remarking that they couldn't follow their movements at all. Frieza then tries to use Barrage Death Beam to injure him, to no avail as Goku deflects them away, even hitting them away from the others. Through a smoke cloud, Frieza believes he's already defeated Goku. However, the Saiyan remains standing unharmed after the smoke is cleared. Frieza's even shocked that he can move them away from his friends while deflecting the beams. Vegeta, believing that Goku has finally become a full-fledged Super Saiyan, taunts Frieza even though he's too severely beaten to stand. Frieza, proud of his past accomplishments and irritated, smirks before sending his death beam through the Saiyan Prince's heart. Teetering on the brink of death, Vegeta is able to tell the newly healed Goku of Frieza's genocide of the Saiyan race, imploring him to take revenge on behalf of all Saiyans. As Vegeta finishes his plea to Goku, he finally dies from his injury. Goku, saddened by Vegeta's death, buries him and vows to finish Frieza. Goku angrily reminds Frieza that he treats lives as disposable. He had taken the lives of many peaceful people, even children, for his amusement. Goku then tells him that it's his turn to suffer this time. Frieza tells him that he believes the Super Saiyan is just a legend. However, Goku doesn't care about the legend. He's going to stop Frieza once and for all. Krillin, Gohan, and Piccolo leave the area so that Goku isn't distracted in the battle. Goku and Frieza then engage each other again. In melee, they're proven to be equal in strength, with neither of them able to land any hits. Irritated by this even battle, Frieza fires an energy wave at Goku, causing him to dodge it by using a quick Kamehameha to push himself into the air. This causes a cloud of smoke, so Frieza fires rays of death beams through it to blast Goku. Goku realizes that Frieza can't sense him, but before he can develop a plan, Frieza flies above, spots him, and continues firing. Frieza manages to land a downward knuckle attack on Goku and fires a wave at the falling Saiyan. Believing he's won again, suddenly Goku appears behind him and they stand back to back. Frieza hides for a short time and soon emerges from the water and attacks, firing a ball that Goku barely throws away after being pushed into a rock formation. Suddenly, a massive spout of magma bursts out of the ground under him, and Frieza uses the dying planet's molten rock against Goku. Still, no further damage is done, and Goku pushes the lava back into the ground with a Kamehameha to hold off the planet's explosion for some time. Frieza tries to get the jump on him, but Goku's saved by Piccolo, who gives him an early warning. Goku urges Frieza to leave the planet alone during the battle, and so Frieza listens to him, surprisingly. Frieza realizes that it's Goku who defeated the Ginyu Force and not Vegeta. Frieza uses the hiding tactic again, and it works on Goku, who's kicked into the ocean. Thinking back to the smoke cloud where Frieza couldn't detect him without seeing him with his eyes, Goku comes up with a plan to hurt Frieza. Goku fires 2 Kamehameha torpedo balls and sets them in place underwater. Meanwhile, Frieza does not believe Goku to be dead this time and waits for him to return to the surface. Goku, still underwater, fires the first torpedo. Frieza barely moves out of the way before Goku fires the second one. Frieza again dodges in the nick of time and is enraged. Suddenly, Goku appears from above and lands a clean boot to Frieza's cheek. Earlier, it was the right cheek, and this time it was the left cheek. Frieza crashes into a rock formation upon hitting the ground, rendering the tactic a success. For a moment, everyone believes the battle's over already. However, Frieza bursts out of the ground, albeit now showing signs of minor damage. With this, Frieza admits that Goku is the first person other than his parents to cause him pain in his true form. Frieza decides to have some fun with him for causing him this sensation. Frieza soon realizes that his opponent is the son of the Saiyan that gave him such trouble years before. Frieza and Goku's battle resumes, with Frieza moving some rocks out of the ground and launching them at Goku. However, he dodges them with ease. Frieza uses his mind to control them, however, so that they keep coming back, forcing Goku to smash them and blow them up with an energy blast instead. Frieza steps it up a notch, this time picking up a whole mountain with his telekinetic powers and throwing it at Goku, all while laughing. Instead of dodging the mountain, Goku tries to hold onto it and stop it in its tracks. Goku is eventually pushed into another mountain by it, but Goku cuts right through the mountain and evades danger. Frieza uses the surprise tactic again and appears above Goku suddenly. Frieza traps Goku in a ball he creates, rendering Goku unable to escape. Frieza smashes him around like a soccer ball, but prevents him from smashing it into the ground, for the ball will explode if it's touched by anything other than Frieza himself. After some more bouncing around, Frieza finally blows up the ball, sending it and Goku smashing into the ground and causing a massive explosion. Minutes after the massive explosion, Piccolo realizes that Frieza is just warming up, and that he could destroy the entire planet if he wanted to. He also tells them that Frieza is just playing with Goku right now. Krillin and Gohan believe Goku to be dead in the aftermath. However, Piccolo says that Goku is also playing, and he shows them Goku himself, standing tall and almost unscathed, albeit with damaged clothes from the explosion. Piccolo assumes that he had run fast enough to get out of the blast radius. He calls them both monsters, one good, one evil. Goku and Frieza meet up again, stare each other down, and prepare for the next round of their grueling battle. Frieza gives him a proposition in his native language, which a sentence he says translates to, "Let's get down to business." Goku agrees and both fighters decide to get serious. A stare down occurs and Piccolo tells Krillin and Gohan that this battle is to be decided for the fate of the entire universe, and only the three of them will get the opportunity to witness it. However, Piccolo hopes that he'll get to do more than just watch. Frieza gives Goku a break and asks him whether they should fight on the ground or in the air. Goku chooses the ground, lying that he's a ground kind of guy, but he's actually trying to remove the danger of Frieza's devastating power in the air. Piccolo notices this very strategy when they pick their battle site. Frieza picks a small, flat island for the final battle to take place, and they both fly over to it. Goku removes his orange shirt while Frieza taunts him, asking if Goku would rather be buried or cremated when he's killed. Immediately after, Frieza gives Goku another break. He allows Goku to battle him without the tyrant using his hands. Jokingly, he says that he won't break his nails this way. A cocky and confident Goku asks Frieza if he's sure he doesn't want to use his hands in battle, but Frieza still agrees not to. After another stare down, Goku lunges forward and both fight in melee. Though Frieza can't punch Goku, he easily dodges each of his attacks. After a lot of dodging between each combatant, Frieza whacks Goku in the face with his tail. He then proceeds to slap him multiple times with the powerful tail. Frieza hits him hard one last time, sending Goku crashing to the ground. After Goku recovers, both pause for a short time, and Goku finds the battle exciting to him. Yet Frieza asks him if he still believes he can somehow beat the tyrant. He lunges at Frieza and they go at it again, but Frieza still easily dodges Goku's attacks. For a short time, Frieza resorts to blocking before breaking off. Goku attacks again, but is wrapped around on his leg by Frieza's tail. Frieza throws him towards the ground, but Goku lands on his hands and pulls Frieza down with the legs force the tyrant gripped with his tail. Frieza lands, but Goku grabs onto his tail, rendering Frieza unable to get away. Goku jokes about Frieza's poor hygiene, pouring him on. Frieza urges him to let go, and Goku does just that, and flings him into the air. As Goku flies in front to score a hit, Frieza disappears again. Using more rocks to distract Goku, he lands another hit with his tail to Goku's stomach. Frieza fights him off and goes on the offense, attempting to land kicks. After some more back-to-back even brawling, Frieza finally ends the scuffle by wrapping his tail around Goku's head. Frieza holds his tight grip, bringing Goku to his knees. Resorting to desperate measures, Goku bites Frieza's tail, releasing the tyrant's grip and causing Frieza sudden, though comedic, pain. This gives Goku his chance, kicking Frieza in the face and lands many punches to the tyrant's stomach. Frieza tries to dodge more but is punched in the face by Goku. He's then kicked in the groin and uppercut. Frieza finally gets the upper hand with a strong right hand breaking the no hands rule and knocking Goku down. The aftermath leaves Frieza winded and Goku back on his feet. Frieza soon reveals that he's been holding back this whole time and could easily destroy Goku if desired. But before Frieza does, he asks Goku one question. If he joined him, it would suck if all of his power went to waste. Goku quickly refuses, but Frieza continues, telling him that he could have anything he ever wanted. He could live like a god. Or he could choose to suffer and die now. Goku tells him that he already has everything he wanted, and Frieza finishes by telling him he will die. He then tells Goku that he's only been using 1% of his power, in the anime only, and Goku believes this to be a bluff. Frieza then states that with 50% of his power, he could easily defeat Goku. Frieza then increases his power to 50% of his maximum, and Goku teleports behind him. Frieza prepares for battle and elbows Goku in the face at immense speed. Frieza elbows Goku a second time, causing blood to fly out of Goku's nose, but the Saiyan stays on his feet. Goku is wrapped around the head by Frieza's tail again and is elbowed in the stomach. This time, Goku struggles to stay up and then falls to his knees. Goku is astonished at Frieza's incredible speed. The battle continues and Frieza easily beats Goku, with Goku completely unable to keep up. Goku attempts to use his Kaioken times 10 during this battle, but Frieza still beats him using less than half of his maximum power. Goku then goes desperate and attempts to use times 20 Kaioken and a Kamehameha, but to no significant avail. The best he could do was slightly char Frieza's hand, as Frieza manages to defuse the blast with 50% of his power. However, he does become alarmingly aware of his opponent's remarkable abilities. After taking another beating, a severely battered Goku attempts to create a large spirit bomb by calling on the energies of Namek solar system as a final resort, as Namek didn't have enough life on the planet to make the spirit bomb powerful. Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan are able to distract the tyrant long enough, with Piccolo kicking him into the ocean, and later Krillin and Gohan firing energy balls at him. Just before Frieza can vaporize Krillin and Gohan, Goku fires the large spirit bomb, heavily wounding Frieza. With everyone believing the warlord to be dead, the heroes take the time to relax, until Krillin notices that Frieza has emerged from the blast's crater. Frieza retaliates by mortally wounding Piccolo with a death beam. In the manga, Frieza intentionally fired at Piccolo, while in the anime, Frieza fired at Goku, and then Piccolo pushed him out of the way and took the blast instead. Frieza then uses his telekinetic powers to make Krillin fly into the air, and despite Goku's pleas, he murders Krillin. In the Japanese version as well as Kai, Frieza also proceeded to threaten to murder Gohan in a similar manner. Already bordering on the edge of his rage, Goku is pushed over the edge, his rage exploding, causing Frieza to inadvertently create what he had always feared, a Super Saiyan. At a loss of words, Frieza could only stare at Goku, unable to believe that Super Saiyans do exist. In the ensuing battle, Super Saiyan Goku and Frieza trade blows, but as the fight progresses, Frieza's 50% power clearly proves to be less than adequate against the Super Saiyan. Even his barrage death beam have little effect on the newly empowered Saiyan. Frieza attempts to remind Goku that the Saiyans were as ruthless as Frieza himself is in their barbarism, to which Goku replies that the Saiyans have paid for their mistakes now, causing Frieza to ask whether that was the reason he killed them easily. Frieza fires the death beam in anger, however it simply hits Goku's chin and pushes his head upwards. He lowers his head with just a minor scratch. In frustration, Frieza sends a death ball into the core of the planet, starting a chain reaction that will destroy Namek in 5 minutes, revealing immediately afterwards that he held back too much of his power for the death ball to be a complete success. Frieza unleashes 70% and then 100% of his power, which Goku requested, wanting to fight him using all his strength. Goku also notes that Frieza wanted it this way because if he had not, he would have fired at the planet again and destroyed it. At this point, Frieza launches a terrific assault against Super Saiyan Goku, who had not expected Frieza's power to be as high as it is, with Frieza notably landing a high knee to the face, giving Goku a bloody nose. In the anime, he also gave Goku a challenging enough fight that the latter was forced to fake his death to buy enough time to recover, with Frieza also briefly fighting Gohan until Goku arrived to continue the fight. Also, after Goku let it slip that Porunga was now active, Frieza then attempted to make his wish for immortality. Unfortunately for him, wishes to the dragon required speaking in the Namekian tongue, with Dende instead managing to give the wish to evacuate everyone but Frieza and Goku, with Frieza also briefly witnessing a revived Vegeta. Frieza also ended up learning that Goku partly had the wish given in such a manner to ensure that there aren't any more innocents nearby, and thus not hold back. The Super Saiyan Goku soon realized that after sustaining so much damage in his 50% state, Frieza's body would no longer be able to handle his 100% power for very long. Goku and Frieza face off. Eventually, after a very, very long battle, Super Saiyan Goku gets the battle under his control, delivering a final momentous blow to the tyrant that symbolically ends Frieza's reign. Seeing Frieza's power slipping fast now, Goku decides to call off the fight, claiming it would be pointless to continue, as Frieza is losing strength rapidly and Super Saiyan Goku had already humbled the tyrant. Humiliated, Frieza refuses to relent, attacking Goku with 2 of his death saucers. As Goku dodges the attack, Frieza ironically becomes distracted long enough to be bifurcated by his own attack. Barely clinging to life but desperate to survive, Frieza begs for mercy, which Super Saiyan Goku hesitantly provides. Giving him a little of his ki, Frieza's pride refuses to allow him to be beaten and saved by a Saiyan monkey, and he expends what little energy he has left to attack Goku. Overcome with anger, Super Saiyan Goku fires an angry Kamehameha that consumes both Frieza's attack and what remains of him in the process, seemingly killing him and avenging countless people across the universe. Frieza-Androids Interlude. Unbeknownst to Goku and everyone else, Frieza wasn't killed on Namek. Frieza's shredded body, take that as you will, floated in the planet's debris, kept company only by his thoughts of how the universe's conqueror had been thoroughly beaten by a lowly Saiyan. His father, King Cold, had crews search the area, not believing his son to have been destroyed by something as insignificant as the explosion of a planet. What could be found of Frieza is salvaged and reconstructed with cybernetic enhancements, leaving him scarred and bitter. Knowing he's now stronger than ever before, Frieza's first thought upon rehabilitation is revenge on those who defeated him on Namek. Frieza beats Goku to Earth. Despite his ill intentions towards Earth and all those who live there, Frieza notes it's a good planet on his first viewing, and orders his henchmen to find and slaughter its inhabitants, with Frieza keen on killing his enemy's friends himself. However, his army is torn apart by a mysterious youth. Frieza dismisses his challenger as an insolent child and pays him almost no heed until the boy reveals himself as another Super Saiyan. Even then, Frieza initially dismisses the boy's claim as a bluff and laughs it off, only to express shock when the boy proves his claim valid by transforming right in front of him and his father. Dumbstruck, Frieza makes several different efforts to kill the youth, such as energy blasts, each of which is parried easily. He then plays his trump card in the form of a supernova, a death ball 10 times the size of the one that destroyed planet Namek. Even this is nonchalantly brushed away until a mortified Frieza causes it to detonate with another shot of ki. Thinking him dead, both father and son are stunned when the youth fires a burning attack out of nowhere. Fuming, Frieza becomes oblivious to his opponent's position and is surprised and sliced in half by the Saiyan youth before being cut to pieces and then vaporized with an energy blast. King Cold meets a similar fate, with the youth obliterating him with the Godbreaker when the tyrant tries to attack him. Despite this, the common myth throughout the universe remains that Goku defeated Frieza on Namek. In the alternate future timelines of future Trunks and Cell, it's implied that future Goku used instant transmission to teleport to Earth and killed Frieza and his father King Cold instead of Trunks. The Great Saiyaman Saga. Frieza makes numerous cameo appearances throughout the remainder of the series from Hell. His first and most major role was teaming up with Cell and causing trouble in Hell, along with King Cold and the dead members of the Ginyu Force. Frieza and King Cold were the only 2 villains in this scene to not be thrown onto the Mountain of Needles by Pikkon. Pikkon knocked Frieza out with a single punch to the face after elbowing King Cold in the stomach. Then all 7 were locked up in a prison cell. This was one of those rare times Frieza and Cell, 2 of the 3 main villains of the show, are seen talking to each other. Frieza and Cell would occasionally train together in Hell. Majin Buu Saga. Later, Frieza is shown observing Goku's fight with Kid Buu alongside other defeated villains from the series, even saying, "I could have done the same thing if I hadn't lost both legs." For obvious reasons, he frequently rooted for Kid Buu to beat Goku. When Goku managed to gain his power back and obliterate Kid Buu, Frieza could only watch in silent irritation that Goku managed to win, and also thought to himself, why am I not surprised? Gods of the Universe Saga. In Hell, Mecha Frieza dreams of his defeat at the hands of Super Saiyan Goku and his death at the hands of Super Saiyan Future Trunks. Soon after, Frieza suddenly finds himself alive again, albeit in pieces, thanks to Sorbet wishing to Shenron to revive him. Using his telekinetic abilities, Frieza attempts to put himself back together but quickly falls apart. Frieza is surprised at having been returned to life and glares at the Pilaf gang. Sorbet and Tagoma collect the pieces of him and leave the planet. Sorbet places Frieza into the healing chamber and he's fully revived, taking on his first form while he remembers his first defeat due to Goku on Namek. Frieza awakens, shaking the ship and blowing up all of the scouters. Frieza emerges and talks with Sorbet and Tagoma, killing a soldier as he does so to test his power before killing Tagoma for talking back to him. Sorbet informs Frieza that Goku defeated Majin Buu, to which Frieza declares he'll train for 4 months to surpass him. 4 months later, Frieza invades Earth with his army of 1,000 soldiers. He destroys North City as a greeting and soon notices the Z-Fighters' arrival. He confronts them, asking where Goku is, only for everyone to be surprised as Bulma and Jaco arrive on the ship. On Frieza's order, Sorbet commands the 1,000 soldiers to attack Earth's defenders. Watching the battle, Frieza comments that Gohan could beat all 1,000 soldiers himself if he wanted, but he's uninterested in the young Super Saiyan. Goku and Vegeta then arrive, and so Frieza immediately take on his final form to battle Goku. The two fight an even battle, though Goku manages to get an edge, blasting Frieza with a huge God Kamehameha. Frieza then decides it's time to reveal his further evolution. God of Destruction Beerus Saga. In the manga, while Goku is image training on his radish field, he closes his eyes and pictures that he's fighting Frieza, Cell, and Kid Buu. The mental thought of Frieza attacks Super Saiyan Goku from behind, but Goku senses him and hits him in the face, defeating him. After Whis reveals Frieza's defeat, when Beerus asks as to how Frieza's doing, Whis peers back in time to Frieza's fight with Goku on Namek, showing Beerus part of the fight between him and Super Saiyan Goku. Golden Frieza Saga. Contained in a cocoon on Earth's hell, Frieza dreamed of his defeat at the hands of the Super Saiyans, Goku and future Trunks, but soon woke up to the sight of the Angels of Hell. However, over 14 years after Frieza's demise, two of his men, Sorbet, commander of Frieza's army, and Tagoma, elite soldier, collect all of the Dragon Balls with the aid of the Pilaf gang and resurrect him, and he's revived as he was just before his death, as Mecha Frieza and in pieces. Sorbet and Tagoma collect all of the pieces save for his right eye, which is found by Pilaf, who hands it to Sorbet just as he and Tagoma are about to leave. On Sorbet's spaceship, they put the organic parts in a medical machine. Frieza's body is regenerated and he reverts himself back into his first form, completely free of his cybernetics. As he recovers inside the chamber, Frieza dreams of his first defeat by Super Saiyan Goku and angrily wakes up, shaking the entire ship. He was then introduced to Sorbet and Tagoma while they explained to him how they brought him back to life and how they can bring King Cold back to life as well, but Frieza suggested that there was no need for that and suggested he would need to wait for his vengeance against the Saiyans. Afterward, he announces to his soldiers that he will not be satisfied until the Super Saiyans, Goku and future Trunks, have both been killed. Tagoma then suggests that Frieza put his grudge against the Saiyans behind him and focus on reconstituting his empire. Angry at Tagoma's suggestion to leave the Saiyans alone, Frieza shot Tagoma with Ki Blast instead of killing him, because he considered it boring to kill him quickly. Frieza is then informed by Sorbet that Goku's powers have surpassed that of even Majin Buu, which is far more than Frieza could have imagined. But due to him being a prodigy, Frieza believes that through 4 months of serious training, he'll be able to reach a level of power high enough to wipe out the Saiyans in the blink of an eye. For the next 4 months, Frieza trained vigorously, sometimes using Tagoma as a training partner. During training sessions with Tagoma, Frieza would beat him within an inch of his life and then have him go heal up for the next days of training, allowing Frieza to both get stronger and master his torturing type fighting style to allow him to fight Goku for as long as possible without killing him, to cause the Saiyan as much pain as possible. What a sadist. After all that time passed, Frieza and his forces eventually reach Earth, and he gets excited about exacting his revenge on the Saiyans. As they're about to land, Frieza begins laughing gleefully at his chance at revenge. After landing on Earth, he fires a death beam at North City, completely wiping it out. Frieza then encounters the Z-Fighters, who have gathered to try and resist him. Frieza becomes irritated upon realizing that Goku has yet to arrive when he recognizes Krillin as the person he killed on Namek. The tyrant scornfully remarks that the Dragon Balls can revive the powerful and the pathetic, before receiving some scathing remarks from Bulma, who had never seen him in person until now. Bulma pleads for some time so that Goku can arrive, but he gives them only 10 seconds. Not interested in fighting without his nemesis, Frieza has his army of 1,000 soldiers engage the Z-Fighters. When Sorbet attempts to give orders to the soldiers, Frieza flicks him away and instead has the soldiers all aim for Krillin as a joke, offering a planet to whomever kills him. Frieza comments on Gohan's abilities as a fighter, noting with disgust that the boy shares his father's morals. As the fight draws on, Frieza dismisses his troops as a disgrace to his name and threatens to kill Sorbet as punishment for his poor leadership, prompting the diminutive commander to send Shisami into battle. The hulking warrior quickly pulls Gohan into a bear hug in an attempt to crush him, but Tagoma blasts the duo from behind in an attempt to kill the enemy's strongest warrior. Intrigued, the tyrant then agrees to appoint Tagoma as supreme commander of his forces if he wipes out the Z-Fighters. He then proceeds to watch the battle unfold until Gotenks arrives and injures Tagoma. Gotenks prepares to fight Frieza only to defuse shortly thereafter. Frieza notes Goten's resemblance to Goku and Trunks' resemblance to future Trunks, who had sliced him in half. He grows angry at how the Saiyans have multiplied and orders Tagoma to wipe them out. Shortly afterwards, Frieza is approached by Captain Ginyu, who has switched bodies with Tagoma while he was feeling pain on the ground. The captain explains his hardships throughout the years, from being swapped into the body of a frog to arriving on Earth to Frieza's return. Frieza's happy that Ginyu's alive and wants more in his service, but is unimpressed by Ginyu's fighting pose and asks him to be useful and wipe out the Z-Fighters. Frieza watches with glee as his faithful servant decimates the Z-Fighters, noting that he's stronger than Tagoma was. However, Ginyu is defeated when Gohan transforms into a Super Saiyan, with Frieza expressing surprise that Goku's son was capable of obtaining the form. Though Gohan decides to spare his opponent, Frieza recalls that this scenario is identical to the last part of his battle with Goku on Namek and snaps, flying down to the battlefield in his hover chair. Enraged, he dismisses Captain Ginyu and attacks Gohan with death beams while telling him to scream, beg for mercy, and run. After Gohan succumbs to his injuries and falls to the ground, Frieza attacks with a finishing death beam. Suddenly, Piccolo jumps in the way of Frieza's attack, taking the attack's full brunt, protecting Gohan. Frieza finds it very amusing when Gohan cries for Piccolo. When Bulma finally talks to Whis, he disallows Sorbet to kill her at the moment in hopes that she might bring Goku to Earth. When he doesn't come right away, Frieza allows Ginyu to fight and kill Goku's friends so that he can be entertained at the least. But then Gohan stands up to Frieza and then powers up to his Super Saiyan form once more as a way to both protect everyone and raise his energy high enough to be detected by Goku. The power-up eventually tires him out completely, and Frieza once again decides to end his life. Shortly thereafter, Goku and Vegeta appear in the battlefield, the former having used instant transmission to return to Earth. Goku quickly blocks the death beam before rounding on Frieza, the latter explaining how he returned to life whilst describing his excruciating experiences in Hell. He blames Goku for the suffering he had endured since their battle in Namek and states his desire for vengeance. Vegeta then kills Captain Ginyu, causing Frieza to recognize the Saiyan Prince's increased strength, though he promises to kill him once Goku's dead. After talking about the recent training, Frieza decides to transform into his final form from the start to avoid making mistakes again and prepares himself to fight, his transformation vaporizing the rest of his soldiers in the process, leaving Sorbet as the sole survivor. They start their fight on the ground after powering up and then powering up again during close combat. Frieza actually thanks Goku for making him train to fight him at this level, but then gets angry again after remembering the pain he's been through. He plans to kill Krillin and Bulma with ki blasts, but Goku and Vegeta show up at the last minute and deflect them. Vegeta did this because Goku was pinned to the ground by Frieza at the time. They then resume their fight and take it all the way above the clouds. Frieza told Goku he attacked his friend so he can fight Goku at his angriest. After being beat around, Frieza fires a golden death ball at Goku, and he uses a Kamehameha to collide, causing an explosion. After a Ki Blast barrage conflict, Vegeta shows up and fights Goku, which impresses Frieza, and he questions his loyalty to him, though Frieza fires a blast at the two and tells Vegeta that he wants to fight Goku first. After he becomes irritated by Vegeta's continuous clapping, the Saiyan decides to take on the Tyrant himself, only for the two of them to negotiate to fight each other after Frieza kills Goku. Frieza then witnesses Goku transform into his Super Saiyan Blue form. Frieza tries to knock out Goku from behind to gauge his power, but Goku catches this attack with his fist, prompting Frieza into finally transforming himself into Golden Frieza, despite his own warnings. After saying goodbye in advance, Frieza re-proceeds to fight Goku, and he had the upper hand at first, but Goku blocked all of Frieza's upcoming energy attacks, which results in an energy clash that lasts a while and results in a blinding explosion. As Beerus and Whis show up for their dessert, thanks to his new exceedingly high power, Frieza once again gains the upper hand against Goku, and after comparing how long it took to reach their new forms, Frieza decides to kill Goku immediately and his friends too so that he won't be lonely in hell. When he spots Beerus, however, he becomes frightened and frustrated that he might interfere, but Beerus told Frieza to do as he pleases. Frieza then decides to continue his revenge and kept pushing him further and further, leaving Goku exhausted. Frieza then strangles Goku with his tail and punches him in the gut and head repeatedly until Goku bit his tail, forcing him to let go, yet Frieza still had the upper hand and knocked him down again. He then explains why he hates Goku for his actions back on planet Namek and tries to kill him with his energy attacks. But for some reason, Goku kept surviving them all. They were almost interrupted by Vegeta, who wanted to kill Frieza for Goku, but he insisted that he almost has him. Goku also warns Frieza about his form's downside, but he ignores his warnings and decides to wrap things up, with both combatants using every last bit of power they have left. At first, Frieza seemed to be dominating again, not even allowing Goku to drown to death until Goku's prediction started to come true. He burns more power and stamina than his body can supply, and didn't regulate it before he decided to exact his revenge. Due to his massive drop in power and stamina, Goku knocks him away with a forehead punch in the anime. Goku then suggests that Frieza leave to have a rematch later. However, Frieza signaled to have Sorbet shoot Goku straight in the chest with his ring. He then repeatedly kicks Goku and explains his weaknesses while doing so. His strength makes him careless. As he's about to kill Goku once and for all, Vegeta attacks, and Frieza dodges his blast. When Vegeta tells Krillin to give Goku a senzu bean, Frieza tries to kill him with a death beam, but Vegeta blocks it and it ends up killing Sorbet. Frieza hardly believes that Vegeta could kill him now, but he too turns into a Super Saiyan Blue, which frightens Frieza at first. Frieza tries to hit Vegeta with a lot of ki blasts, but he was never fazed by any of them due to Frieza having lost most of his power. After a bit of big talk, Vegeta beats up Frieza, and the tyrant then reverts into his final form. Before Vegeta could kill Frieza, however, Frieza blows up the Earth, which kills Vegeta and everyone on it. Beerus and Whis states that Frieza survived the destruction, thus is floating in space preparing his next move. However, the event was undone by Whis' temporal do-over, and Goku turned into his Super Saiyan Blue form and charged and launched a Kamehameha strong enough to destroy Frieza and send him back to Hell before he can destroy the Earth, although not before Frieza yells a curse at Goku. Once back in Earth's Hell, he was forced to watching the Angels of Hell dance and sing while strapping a cocoon again, much to Frieza's chagrin. Universe 6 Saga. Frieza is shown in Hell with Sorbet and Shisami. Frieza's Universe 6 counterpart, Frost, plays a major role in the saga, and in the manga, Frost's battle with Goku is referred to at the end of the chapter as Goku vs. Frieza, Round 3. Future Trunks Saga. When Goku and Krillin are training together and sent by Master Roshi to find a medicine called Paradise Herb, they enter a strange forest to look for it. However, they encounter a manifestation of Frieza. This is due to the forest being on the edge between this world and the next, and thus the memories of the past battles can manifest, and Frieza manifests as he was on Namek through Krillin's memory. Seeing Frieza terrifies Krillin, as Frieza was one of the 3 villains that killed him, though Krillin is more terrified at the tambourine illusion than either Frieza or Super Buu's illusion due to the mutant Namekian having killed Krillin first. Goku's able to destroy the Frieza illusion, but it keeps coming back until Goku makes it and the other illusions disintegrate by not reacting to them at all. Krillin was later surrounded by multiple illusions of Frieza that eventually morphed into Nappa. Universe Survival Saga. In the anime, after 9 members of the 10-member Team Universe 7 gather, they realize that Buu has fallen asleep and won't wake up for at least 2 months. Goku, in a desperate state, suggests making Frieza the 10th member after Beerus rages at the group for destroying all of Frieza's army. Everyone protests because Frieza is as likely to destroy them rather than help them. Nevertheless, Goku insists he and Vegeta can stop Frieza should he get out of control. Goku convinces King Yama to have him escorted to Hell, where he finds Frieza strung up in his cocoon. Frieza wonders why Goku's there and figures out that he's planning something when Goku asks Frieza how he would like to get out of Hell for a bit. After telling Frieza about the Tournament of Power, he cuts the cocoon down, liberating Frieza. After a few disagreements, Frieza agrees. Frieza tells Goku to use the Dragon Balls to revive him, enticing Goku by claiming he can become stronger. Disgusted by the offer, Goku nonetheless tells him that the Super Dragon Balls would become the prize for the winner of this tournament. But Frieza doubts it, preferring the Earth's Dragon Balls to resurrect him. Goku promises to revive Frieza, and so Frieza agrees to join Team Universe 7. Goku goes to see fortune teller Baba, and asks her to bring Frieza to Earth for 24 hours. Baba is reluctant to do this, but does so as Goku asks since the fate of the universe is at stake. Frieza arrives and he and Goku greet each other by punching each other in the guts. Assassins from Universe 9 arrive to assassinate Goku and Frieza, who powers up to Golden Frieza and begins killing the assassins. Frieza reveals that he learned to maintain his stamina by mental concentration via imagining killing Goku. Frieza is hit by energy of destruction, but quickly gains control of it and hits Goku with it. He uses a communicator device from one of his assassins to talk to Sidra and Ro. Frieza offers them a bargain. They make him a member of their team, and he will perform well as he doesn't want to be collateral damage if Universe 7 is erased, and offers to kill Goku to ensure his team doesn't win. As the two gods argue over this, Beerus and Whis show up, causing Frieza to destroy the communicator. Beerus suspects Frieza's plotting against them, though Whis thinks he may simply have been trying to get intel on other universes. Frieza notes to himself that this tournament is the perfect opportunity to manipulate the gods of the many universes, and threatens Beerus silently. After Beerus frees him, Goku asks for a quick spar with Frieza on the condition that whoever lands one punch wins. Both punch each other in the face and knock each other out cold, and Beerus declares that they're evenly matched. Frieza is taken to the rest of the team. As soon as he arrives, all of the members look at him suspiciously, while Beerus prevents him from doing anything stupid, to which Frieza tells him he knows. Vegeta then makes a comment about his halo, which Frieza retorts by joking around that he's gonna give him one. As the team leaves, Whis tells everyone to join hands so he can transport them to the arena. But Beerus butts in and grabs Frieza's arm instead of Vegeta to avoid an escalating grudge between the two. As final parting words, Beerus tells them that teamwork is crucial, and they should let the other fighters battle it out to save stamina. They all take off with Bulma standing close, wishing them all luck. Frieza and his teammates are transported by Whis to the Null Realm. There, he meets the fighters from other universes, and is surprised to see Frost, another member of his race. Before the tournament begins, Frieza and Frost meet in secret near the far edge of the ring. The two agree to work together as kindred spirits. Like Goku, Vegeta, 17, and 18, Frieza ignores Gohan's strategy and runs off to fight on his own, ki blasting Catapestra from Universe 3 at point blank. Frieza easily defeats Napapa and incapacitates Roselle, and had caused the latter to accidentally jump out of the bounds after some torture. Frieza then witnesses Universe 9 being erased from the two Zenos, and swears to reign over them one day. When Kale transformed and started going on a rampage, Frieza just calmly smiled, seemingly unfazed. Later, when Gohan talked about reuniting their team, Frieza showed up while clutching Merchant by his head. Vegeta approaches Frieza and accuses him of stalking his prey. Frieza blithely just kicks Merchant off the ring. Frieza appears again, watching the spectating crowd from above a ledge and deciding who will be his next victim. He then notices Gohan struggling against Jimizu and comes to his aid. But to Gohan, Jimizu, and the spectating Universe 7 surprise, he allows for the fight between Gohan and Jimizu to continue. However, after Gohan's overpowered, Frieza smugly intervenes between Jimizu and Gohan. To his bafflement, Frieza simply gets over his instant transmission and knocks him over with his tail, dismissing his technique as mere child's play. Jimizu attempts it again, but once again Frieza easily attacks him. Using his tail to lift him from his throat, Frieza proceeds to torture Jimizu, and with a final ki blast claims his victory over him. With both Universe 2 and 7 in shock, Frieza throws him out of the ring, where the members of Universe 2 proceed to give their fallen comrade aid. As Frieza berates Gohan for not using his full power against Jimizu, Frost comes in on the scene, complimenting Frieza for the exhilarating battle. Champa yells at Frost to get away from Frieza, as he knows he's no match for him. But then Frost reveals that his only enemy is Gohan. Frieza then walks over to his side, and everyone realizes they had already allied. With everything out on the table, Frost insists that Frieza does battle against Gohan, which Frieza accepts. Before they begin, Frost warns Frieza if he should be lying to him, he would suffer the consequences, and forms a death beam at his fingertips. Frieza and Gohan then do battle, with Frieza having the upper hand for most of the battle. As the battle goes on, Gohan powers up to his ultimate form and manages to get a good punch on Frieza. Realizing the full extent of his power, Frieza proceeds to power up to his golden form, and after a very short bout, Frieza defeats Gohan. Frost then comes on from the sidelines, marveling at the extraordinary power Frieza possesses. Frieza states that he can also attain this power from training, or at the very least, his full power form, to which Frieza proceeds to transform into. Frost follows suit, and Frieza gives him an important lesson about the form, to use it early on to make sure the body's stamina doesn't run out. Frieza gives him one final lesson, not to trust anyone, and proceeds to knock him out of the ring. After Frost is knocked out, Gohan pushes himself off the ground, revealing himself to still be conscious. Utterly shocked by this betrayal, Frieza reveals to Frost that he never intended to work with him, as he considers Frost an amateur in comparison to himself. Enraged by the fact that Frieza would dare call him an amateur, Frost prepares a ki blast. Still, before he can fire, he's erased by Zeno, who restates that nobody can attack from outside the arena, and warns Champa that he would erase Universe 6 if they did it again. With the fight finally over, Frieza states to Gohan that they should continue to work together to attain victory, and leaves with a smile on his face. After observing Goku's battle with Jiren and overhearing the god's fear of a mortal using the form, Frieza gives chase to Goku, who flees after his loss to recover. Frieza is able to catch Goku and prepares to charge a blast, stating that no one could see them behind the pillar. Goku, fearing for his life, screams as Frieza fires his attack. However, to Goku's shock, he's alive, and Frieza laughs and reveals he gave him some of his energy. Frieza said that even though he didn't give him much, knowing that Goku has more than enough to get back on his feet and begin recovering. Frieza continues by telling Goku that all debts are paid, stating that fighting Jiren is something he wanted to avoid. He also told Goku that the gods were actually scared of Goku when he was using his newfound power, and told him the gods called it Ultra Instinct. He also informs Goku that he's doing well out there, as expected, and Universe 7 needs him to keep doing well, as Frieza takes his leave to find his next victim. After watching Vegeta save Cabba and learning of their relationship, Frieza becomes disgusted at the thought and challenges Cabba to a fight after he barely beats Mona. Despite his best efforts, Cabba is incapable of handling Frieza in his base form and powers up to Super Saiyan 2 after Frieza backs him into a corner. Once Frieza reveals his hatred of Saiyans, Cabba fires a Galactic cannon at him, who rather than blocking the move, powers up to his Golden Frieza form and defeats Cabba with Emperor's death beams. Uncharacteristically, Frieza asks Cabba to give up, and when Cabba refuses, Frieza blasts him out of the ring with a basic ki blast. Afterwards, Frieza says that he regrets using more stamina than required to take out Trash. What an ass. Frieza fires several death beams looking for a fighter to entertain him. Dispo opted not to deal with him and flees while hiding behind a boulder. Suddenly, Catapesra appears and transforms into his whirlwind speed mode form and asks Frieza if he's fast enough to even catch him before running off. Obviously, Frieza ignores this. Frieza then appears before Goku, Caulifla, and Kale and expressed interest in eliminating the two female Saiyans and was about to counter Caulifla's Crush Cannon with his Death Ball, but stops when Goku insisted on taking them both on. He continues to observe Goku's battle, who reawoken his Ultra Instinct, and Kefla, and stated that he needs Goku to continue working for him after he emerged victorious. Frieza watches on as Universes 2 and 6 were erased, merely stating that Goku didn't tap into Ultra Instinct this time. Later, when Anilasa is created, Frieza gets asked by Goku to help him in the battle. Frieza helps Goku, Vegeta, 17, and Gohan to defeat Anilasa, which is lasagna, by the way. During the fight against the remaining 3 members of Team Universe 11, Dispo uses his light bullet to try and attack Frieza from behind, but Frieza grabbed Dispo's attacking arm with his tail. Frieza said it was too handy to have a tail. Dispo smiled and said it was too handy for him too, and then dragged Frieza by the tail, slammed him face first into a rock formation, and dragged his face through it. But Frieza proved completely unscathed, which shocked the Pride Troopers eliminated and then told Dispo he was bored before throwing a death beam, forcing the Pride Trooper to flee. They continued their fight. This time, Dispo used his light bullet against Frieza. Frieza still manages to block Dispo's attack with some difficulty until his enemy uses Circle Flash on him. When the attack explodes on him, Frieza falls on his knees and Dispo is ready to attack him again, but Frieza blocks him again with his tail and throws him to the ground. Amused by his opponent, he offers him a deal similar to the one he did with Universe 9, but Dispo refuses, calming Frieza badly. Exasperated, Frieza decides to finish him off and transforms into Golden Frieza and attacks Dispo first. After having clashed his attack, Frieza asks him if it's all he has and begins to attack mercilessly, becoming faster than him and still beating him. After having landed again, Frieza began to make fun of Dispo until he showed his latest asset, Super Maximum Lightspeed Mode. Undaunted, Frieza charged Dispo, but the Pride Trooper manages to push him a long distance, thanks to speed now superior to that of Golden Frieza's. Although, Frieza still manages to block some of his blows, but with difficulty. While Dispo was going to deal the final blow to Frieza, Gohan intervenes, which surprises Frieza, who asks him why he came to help. Gohan just said that he was in the same team, which Frieza asked him if he was not afraid he would betray him for real this time, and Gohan warned him that if it was happening like that, he will make Frieza fall from the arena. Frieza, not impressed, agreed to team up with Gohan, and they attack Dispo with Ki Blasts, but he easily dodges them. Frieza then creates a cage of light to prevent Dispo from having enough space to go fast enough, which allows Gohan to gain the upper hand, but this quickly drains his stamina, which forces Frieza to eventually let go. Dispo is about to attack again, but Gohan manages to catch him from behind, immobilizing him completely. Gohan then shouts at Frieza to knock them down, which he does so without hesitation, eliminating both Dispo and Gohan. Frieza observes the fight between Top and Android 17. Both opponents launch powerful energy attacks, and Top easily pushes back to 17's limit, but Frieza launches a death beam at Top's back. Frieza mocks Top and proceeds to fire a barrage of death beams, greatly injuring the Pride Trooper. Frieza then finishes with a death cannon that completely consumes Top, also allowing Android 17's energy beam to defeat his. However, Top proves not to be out, although he's heavily injured. Frieza appears in front of him, then mocks the futile resistance of the leader of the Pride Troopers, deeming him trash that he will be happy to throw in the trash bin. Suddenly, Top declares that justice and evil are irrelevant, saying survival is the only thing that matters, and it's because of this that Top powers up to his destroyer form. The transformation doesn't impress Frieza, saying that Top can't do anything against Golden Frieza. Top then fires an energy of destruction at Frieza, who confidently believes such an attack won't work on him, and stops it with only one hand. His belief is quickly proven wrong, however, and in mere moments, Frieza is consumed by the energy of destruction. Later in the battle, Frieza reappears, albeit out of his golden form and with many injuries scathing him. Enraged that Top did so much damage, Frieza declares that a god of destruction is nothing compared to him, and fires Destroy the Planet. Enraged that Top did so much damage, alas, Top merely flicks a tiny ball of destructive energy which manages to destroy the Death Ball, completely stupefying Frieza. Top proceeds to hammer Frieza with several powerful punches, and in mere moments, Frieza is knocked unconscious. But from the sidelines, Android 17 kicks a rock that changes Frieza's trajectory, thus saving him from a ring out. Later on, Frieza returns to save Android 17 from Top's attack before using an imprisonment ball to temporarily paralyze Top. However, his subsequent psychic rock throw failed to affect Top, and he ended up tossed around again. Frieza and 17 went for a barrage of ki blasts, but they both failed to harm Top as well. The fight was interrupted by Goku and Vegeta's fight against Jiren, who sent a power impact towards 17 and Frieza, which hit them both. Frieza survived the attack, and angered by Jiren's beating of him, attacks him ferociously, but is fended off and hopelessly overpowered by the mighty Pride Trooper. Even in his golden form, Frieza is effortlessly beaten down by Jiren, who stopped his attack with a glare and delivered a blow on the Emperor, before punching him with enough force to knock him out of his golden form, leaving Frieza unconscious yet again. Frieza bides his time during Goku and Jiren's fight, then saves Goku from being knocked out. He powers up alongside a still-alive Android 17 to face off against Jiren. Frieza attacks Jiren head-on and is able to keep up with him in his golden form, with Frieza mocking him for losing his power. During the fight, Frieza is knocked back and 17 flies in and tackles Jiren and charges up the same sneak attack. Jiren attempts to block it this time, but 17 locks them inside his barrier and detonates it, hitting Jiren with a full blast. Jiren vomits and drops to his knees, beaten once again, this time by Frieza and 17. After 17 tells him to finish Jiren, Frieza charges a death beam and points it between Jiren's eyes, demanding the former Titan to stare him in the eyes as he eliminates him. With some motivation from Top, Jiren powers back up with what he has left and attacks, forcing Frieza and 17 to set up a barrier. The effort of setting up the barrier causes Frieza to revert to his final form. Seeing this, Goku pulls himself up and joins them. Frieza asks Goku if he remembers his promise about resurrecting him. Goku says yes, and Frieza insults Goku's naive attitude towards him, but expresses his gratitude to Goku. After stopping the attack, Goku and Frieza charge Jiren, with 17 providing extended range support with ki attacks. The trio is able to beat Jiren into what remains of the Time Pillar. Jiren throws them off and goes for 17. Frieza demands Goku to throw him into Jiren. Goku obliges, and Frieza flies to Jiren and hits him with a Nova Strike, willing to sacrifice himself to eliminate Jiren. Jiren manages to redirect him into a nearby rock formation to save himself, only to be caught by Goku, who's struggling to hold his Super Saiyan form due to not having energy. With their team cheering them on, Goku fully powers up into his Super Saiyan form as Frieza fully powers up his final form and drive Jiren through the ring to eliminate the Titan. Just then, Android 17 emerges from underneath a rock, saying that his and Frieza's plan went smoothly, though Frieza says that the android being the last man standing doesn't sit well with him. Goku praises the pair for their plan, and Frieza replies that they prefer strategy over reckless brawling. At that, the tournament comes to an end, with Universe 7 being the victor. The others voice their surprise, not knowing that Android 17 was still competing due to not sensing his energy. After Universe 11's erased, Android 17 immediately asks for the other universes to be brought back, which surprises the Grand Minister. Android 17 says that as the winner, he has the right to make the wish, and his choice is to have them all brought back. Upon summoning Super Shenron, the previously erased universes and participants are brought back into existence. As they all begin to make their way home, the Grand Minister says that the wish made has elevated Universe 7 up in the ranking, and they are now third from the bottom. Frieza is annoyed at a notion of a happy ending being worse than damnation in hell. Whis resurrects Frieza at the request of Beerus, with Whis telling a shocked Frieza that it's his personal gift from Beerus as gratitude for his efforts. However, while grateful that he was revived, Frieza clarifies that he has no intention of changing his evil ways, with Goku in turn stating that should Frieza even attempt to cause any more trouble, he'll make sure Frieza is defeated again. Team Universe 7 returns to Capsule Corporation while Whis takes Frieza back to his own planet. In the anime, sometime later, Frieza resumes his position as leader of the Frieza Force. He apologizes to his soldiers for making them wait so long, and reintroduces himself while announcing that the Emperor of the Universe has returned. Dragon Ball Super Broly Saga. Having been revived, Frieza heads back to his home base to meet with Berry Blue and Kikuno, having also reverted to his first form by this time. Due to Frieza's actions, Broly battles Goku and Vegeta. During the Extra Edition 4 chapter of the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga, Frieza makes a brief appearance when Goku and Vegeta recount to Beerus and Jaco the recent events concerning Broly, and how Frieza had brought Broly along with him to Earth and tried to steal their Earth Dragon Balls. Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga. Frieza is informed that prisoners who escaped from Galactic Prison have been rampaging throughout the universe. However, Frieza doesn't care since he's not interested in unnecessary battles and thinks there's no advantage in dealing with criminals. Kikuno questions this, thinking that the Frieza Force are criminals. However, Frieza and Berry Blue correct him, stating that they overtake planets and sell them to those who are in need of a new planet, and so it's simply business. Frieza asks if Kikuno has a problem, to which he hastily replies that he doesn't, and suggests that they move on to another planet. Alright, the next two sections are from Dragon Ball GT, which is up in the air in terms of canonicity, but it's worth mentioning because Frieza does appear in them. Super 17 Saga. Frieza teams up with Cell to act as a distraction for Goku while a horde of villains from the Dragon Team's past escape Hell, thanks to Dr. Gero and Dr. Mew's portal. Even when Frieza and Cell combine their forces to combat Goku, they both fall under Goku's might, with each of their significant attacks failing after another. Eventually, after much bickering, Cell and Frieza use their newly made combination technique, the Hell's Buster, to launch Goku downwards into the darker realms of Hell, where their opponent has to endure the terrible torture tour. Frieza and Cell come to see Goku frozen after the final stage of the tour, but due to Goku being alive, his living energy heats the ice encasing his body. He then uses the snow machine of the torture tour to freeze Cell and Frieza, finally defeating them. Frieza was last seen with Cell being arrested by the ogres. Shadow Dragon Saga. Frieza briefly appears in the first episode of the saga when it's shown the wishes made to Shenron that brought the Shadow Dragons to life, as Sin Shenron, the saga's main antagonist, was born from the wish made by Mr. Popo to revive everyone on Namek that was killed at the hands of Frieza and his soldiers. Later, Frieza appears in the flashbacks of the final episode that show him killing Krillin and then Goku becoming a Super Saiyan for the first time at their battle on Namek. Whew, Jesus. Dragon Ball characters, man. Did you enjoy our video? Be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.